The BC NDP has announced their pandemic recovery plan amid a bolstering the economy. But not everyone is pleased about it. To discuss this further is Tyler Orton with Business in Vancouver. And Tyler, the business community is being vocal about this plan.
Yeah, I'd call the response so far tepid. The Tourism Industry Association CEO Walt Judas says it's a good start to keep the doors open for many of these desperate operators, but they're counting on much more funding in budget 2021. Keep in mind the tourism sector was asking for almost $700 million, but ended up with $100 million from this plan. But the Canadian Federation of Independent Business, it's going a step further, saying it's, quote, very concerned, end quote, that the plan won't have an immediate impact on the ground, which is where it's needed. The Business Council of British Columbia says it's pleased government adopted some of its 24 recommendations, but cautioned that the current plan lacks long-term vision. It was looking for things like reductions in the PST, cutting a lot more red tape, and even the creation of a value-added tax similar to that short-lived HST that we had early in the last decade. Now, lastly, Greater Vancouver Board of Trade, it says it's happy that the government did adopt some of its recommendations, such as the PST business rebate on machinery and equipment investment.
All right. And how about this other story? There's a BC connection to a COVID-19 treatment that's seen reductions in hospitalizations. What can you tell us about that?
Well, very interesting, because this antibody treatment, it emerged from a partnership between Vancouver's AbCellera, a biotech company, and American pharmaceutical giant Eli Lilly. Early clinical results show that COVID-19 patients treated with this antibody had a hospitalization rate of 1.7%, while those taking a placebo had a 6% hospitalization rate. That's about 72% reduction in hospitalizations. Recall that the federal government, they actually earmarked $175 million for AbCellera back in May to pursue these kinds of treatments. So it is paying off based on early data. Eli Lilly says the next step is to go to the appropriate global regulators, get this treatment out there as soon as they can.
All right. Thank you so much. That is Tyler Orton with Business in Vancouver. Thanks.
Thank you, Jennifer.